Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel for another video. Today's video is made in part for the class I'm teaching at Johns Hopkins in the fall of 2020, titled Meanings to Being, Using Reading and Writing as Tools to Author the Self. Before I say any more, I want to make my intentions as clear as I possibly can. Whether you're one of my students watching this video or somebody who randomly happened to stumble upon it, I want to do what I can to help you. I'm not exactly sure what your goals are, but I want to do what I can to help you achieve them. I want you to be unstoppable, and to try making you unstoppable, I'm going to be talking about the power of writing. Maybe to be more specific, I'm going to be talking about the far-reaching potential benefits of harnessing the power of what is arguably mankind's greatest tool, that being writing. And I know that's a pretty steep claim, that writing is perhaps mankind's greatest tool, and I would say it's certainly mankind's greatest cognitive tool. The ability to give concrete form to thoughts and feelings is unrivaled in its capacity to alter the course of our lives. And that's because our ability to give form to our ideas is something that we are constantly relying on. And I think a major disservice is done to many young people by not setting the stakes as such. Every day, whether we're going into a big job interview or sitting in a classroom or just going through the motions of a normal day at work, we are judged based on our ability to effectively communicate with those around us, which will inevitably do two things. It'll either open doors for us or ensure that they remain closed. And I think herein lies the power of writing, which is really the power of rehearsing our ability to interact with the world and the people around us. A great disservice is, again, done to many young people, and I say this obviously as a young person myself, but also as somebody who has experience both as a student and a teacher. A great disservice is done when young people aren't told exactly what the power of writing is and why practicing it is worth their time. Because writing isn't only some other subject you were forced to spend time learning about in school. I think it's far from that. There's a reason virtually every major civilization, as far back as you're willing to look, has had its own written language, and that's because the written word is powerful. It's a unifying and orienting tool. By understanding it as such, we can begin to unpack exactly how to harness the power of writing. Writing is, in my opinion, one of the two most worthwhile subjects to spend some of our free time practicing, rivaled, in my opinion, again, only by reading. In the past, I've made videos outlining a process you can use to improve your writing ability while also developing a plan to create something that might closely approximate your ideal future. The plan only requires about 10 to 15 minutes of your time per day, and this is something I want to make perfectly clear, that one of the reasons why writing is so powerful is because not only is it free, or at least very, very low cost, but it also requires very little time on a day-to-day basis to begin reaping the rewards. 10 or 15 minutes per day, 4 or 5 days a week, extended across a number of months, will improve your ability to write, but it doesn't only improve your ability to write, and it's important to remember that point. And it doesn't only improve your writing, because being able to write is synonymous with being able to think. I can understand why someone might make the case that practicing writing isn't worth their time, because it isn't something their job or their major requires of them. And fair enough, I understand that. But I think that perspective is a bit naive, because it assumes that the power of writing and the benefits it can offer are unidimensional. And because, like I said, writing is synonymous with thinking, they're not unidimensional. When we practice our writing, we aren't only practicing our writing, we're practicing our ability to articulate what we think. And you'll be hard-pressed to find something more universally applicable and beneficial than that. Because it doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing, your ability to exchange information with the people around you is a metric that almost everyone will almost always be judged on. And you want to be ready for when that time comes. Writing as well as reading, but especially writing, allows us to refine our thinking process and to rehearse our ability to give form to our ideas, which is to say that writing is a communicative exercise. And I think this is why it's absolutely essential that you find the time during your day to practice writing. And I don't mean for this suggestion to be taken lightly. I mean it seriously. If you have goals for yourself, be they personal, academic, professional, whatever, the way to put yourself in a better position to achieve your desired outcome or outcomes is to sharpen your thinking by carefully combing through your thoughts and expressing them clearly. And doing this consistently enough will translate to you being able to precisely organize your thoughts and ideas when some high stakes opportunity demands it, and you're going to be able to do it on the fly, and that's what's so important. Like I've already said, writing is synonymous with thinking, and consequently it is also synonymous with speaking. The only difference is that with writing you're just speaking through a writing utensil instead of using your mouth, but the same A to B process of outgoing thoughts is taking place. And the people who don't rely on the precise employment of their voice on a daily basis to, at least in theory, make their lives incrementally better are few and far between. Really, that's kind of the fundamental skill that underlies almost any job you can think of. So the power of writing lies in its ability to offer you the opportunity to practice and to improve your speaking, so that when the stakes are high, you can clearly and exactly articulate yourself. Your future, what you want the future to look like, depends on your ability to critically engage with any number of complicated stimuli and react to them in seconds in a way that is on the fly and harmonious and exact in the way that it pertains to what you were asked. And that's as true in an academic environment as it is in a professional environment, as it is in a lower stakes social environment. The ability to clearly articulate what you think is a cognitive superpower, and that's what I'm trying to drive home. It's a superpower because it never ceases to be of value. And for whatever reason, I don't think that enough young people are told this, that the act of thinking is something they can practice. It's something that can be improved the way a person's physical fitness can be improved with exercise. And I hope that you understand that. It's so important that you see that you have control over your thinking, because eventually some formidable series of events is going to unfold itself before you, and it will be absolutely crucial that you respond appropriately and precisely. And I think writing is the best way to prepare to encounter situations that might otherwise set you back. So writing is a way to refine your ability to think. And when you refine your ability to think, what you're actually doing is putting yourself in a better position to react to life's unpredictability. And I don't think there's any limit to the benefits that that skill can offer you. So many people don't realize how insufficiently prepared they are to use language, to use words, to grapple with the complexities of their everyday experience, insofar as their ability to use language is concerned, let's say. And I don't mean for that to come off as me suggesting that I have everything figured out, because I don't. My point is simply that because of writing's equivalency with thinking, any writing insufficiency translates to a potential thinking insufficiency. And that's terrifying because it indicates a desperate need for practice. And the great thing about practicing our writing is that it doesn't take much. Your rehearsal can pertain directly to your life. I've made a number of videos and organized them under a playlist titled How to Improve Your Writing. And basically the approach I outlined step by step is to practice writing in such a way that communicates with your future and your past, respectively. This is an activity I usually have my students do. I'll give them about a dozen questions over the course of the semester geared toward helping them increase their chances of building a better tomorrow for themselves. And that's using their future to improve their writing. So that's what I mean when I say that the process of improving your writing can pertain immediately to you and your present circumstances. And I'll also give them about a dozen questions that focus on helping them organize their past into a cohesive narrative that, once it's been written, exists in a way that's concrete and more easily accessible. Until you've organized your past, it basically exists as some half-conscious force, the memories of which will govern your present actions in ways you can't completely control unless you use writing to shed light on the series of past complexities that are still kind of swirling around inside of you. And I think the beauty of these assignments is that at the same time that you're improving your writing, because the simple act of trying to articulate your thoughts and ideas as clearly as possible makes a step toward improvement, you're also creating detailed maps for your past, present, and future. And there's no limit to how beneficial having navigational tools to rely on can be, because you're effectively positioning yourself between two clearly defined end markers, being your past and your future. And like I said before, it is also free. So, okay, that was a lot. But in closing, I'll just say this: the power of writing is the power to use well-articulated language to create yourself anew, to take conscious control of your past and your future. The employment of language is something like a religious act. I really believe that. And that's to say that it's powerful and sacred and something that can have a profound impact on your life if you're willing to take it seriously enough, which I hope you are by this point, because I consider it a real shame that more young people aren't taught how and why writing is as powerful a tool as it is. Earlier in this video, I mentioned that I don't exactly know what you hope to accomplish in the future, but I want to help you get there. And I genuinely believe writing is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal to create a better tomorrow for yourself. And with that, I just want to say thank you for sticking with me. I know this was a lot, but hopefully I was able to give you some idea of the power of writing as I see it. I hope it was helpful. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you found this video useful or helpful or just interesting, I ask that you please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Have a nice day, and I will see you soon.